I'm live. Yes, guys, we are live and direct after the game. Obviously, it's not been a great weekend, has it? It hasn't been a great Sunday. Um, I'll give it a little bit of time before I let a few more people come on, man. But wow, wow. Are we surprised though? Like, is anyone really surprised? Is anyone really like going like, oh my gosh, like how have we lost that game? How was how have Palace beat us? Um, I'm not, man. I think that's just where we are right now. I ain't sitting there just like in complete shock. It's so weird to just think that I've just come to expect that we could lose this game. There's a high possibility that we could have lost this game today, given the players that Palace have, but more importantly, the way that we play, the way that we are. It's just I'm not going into any game as a fan, even when I'm just doing my punditry, confident that Man United are going to get a good positive result, which is it's disheartening, man. It's obviously very kind of sad. It's a sad state of affairs. It's a bit of a morbid weekend, if I'm honest, like because we got beat today. And if you think about today, look at the result today. Mateta, I always thought he'd give us problems. The way he plays, big, strong, aggressive, quick, direct, forward, confident. All the wrong things for our centre backs right now. But more importantly, I just think that Palace on the transition will give us a problem. If the game ended up being that, and it turned out being exactly that. On the counter attack, they looked very dangerous. We had a little couple of chances of Cobby hit the post. Cobby playing up front. I know another new kind of variation of tactics from the manager of personnel. There's two strikers. Where does that leave Xerxes and Højlund now? I see that we're in the market for the young Bayern Munich striker now. It said, who I said, listen, I think he's a very good player, great talent. Do we need another young one? Maybe we do. The manager maybe sees that we're in the market to get him. But yeah, just look at when you play Cobby so high, Bruno has to play even deeper. Then we lack that real threat. We weren't really a threat today. The intensity of the team only really jumps up when we go behind. Yeah, man, it's just flat. And I watched us live against Rangers, and I watched us live against Fulham especially. Just like we're in possession, just a flat team, really flat, no real ideas of how to play. And yeah, just you look in the Europa Cup the other day, and we're playing against, no disrespect, a team from Romania that ain't really going to be putting up any trees. They can probably get battered by every other team that played them for the Premier League. So yeah, Man United, we lose again today at home, 2-0. Palace. Teams are now going to Old Trafford, just no respect, man. No respect whatsoever. The manager needs to find a way of getting his team through this period. He needs to find a way of finding some positives in some games. The team don't seem to be able to play football properly with the ball. We've got no real idea or real patterns at the moment since this manager's come in. And we're not being able to defend. The transition, we're on the attack. Xerxes gives it away. Boom, straight through three or four passes, if that, and it's a goal. We just don't smell danger in defensive areas at times, especially when we're high up the pitch. It's just not good enough in all aspects there. That second goal was a telling goal, man. It was just too easy to play for us. Martinez gets injured. How long's he going to be out now? I hope Shaw's coming back fit and he can play that left-sided defensive position because I think he's brilliant there. But again, we need him fit. So yeah, man, it's difficult. And listen, we're in a transfer window right now. So what player is actually a good environment at the moment to come into when everyone looks like they're scared? Everyone looks like they're on tenterhooks. Everyone's like, I don't want to be the one to make a mistake playing tight. I said this on the show last Monday. Everyone's playing tight. Like, I'm just going to protect myself, and that's what I'm feeling so much. So yeah, man. Listen, we've got beat again. Not happy. And this is the weekend that Marcus Rashford leaves Manchester United. Initially on loan. I think they're paying over 70% of his salary, which is good. Aston Villa. It's a clause, obviously, it's a buy option. Obviously, there's a clause in there that says worth about 40 million, they're saying, pounds. This also included in the contract with a potential 3.5-year deal to follow. So, listen, he's been frozen out by Ruben Amorim at Man United. Listen, I think in the wash, when it all comes out, I'm sure Marcus will say his thing. But a lot's been said about Marcus. A lot has been aimed at him. And a lot of that comes when you are built out to be an iconic man of the people. When you get the status that he got, and deservedly so, for what he'd done for the children, that then a target comes up on your back. So a lot of people, when you're thinking about going and doing these things, be ready for what happens after. What's the ripple effect? You become a big name, you become a target, you become the most important player, you become the most talked about player. And when things are going well, you get your flowers. But when things ain't going well, you get drilled. And I think a lot of people were saying that Man United have been briefing the media. A lot of people have been saying Marcus's team have been briefing the media. I think in the wash, these things will come out afterwards, and I hope to see. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out. But you have to say, since December the 12th, Marcus hasn't made one appearance. And when the manager is suggesting that he'd rather give one of his members of staff who's over his 60th birthday a game, that's when you know the writing was on the wall. But you look at Marcus, he's been with Man United 20 years, man. And you can't look at his time at Man United with everything negative. I just remember when he first came on the scene, and that fresh-faced young guy, man, scoring a goal and smiling, and the joy that you see. He went on to make like over 400 appearances, won the Europa League, 2 FA Cups, 2 EFL Cups. And again, more than 400 appearances. He scored 138 goals. 2022-23 was probably his best season. I think he scored 30 goals in that season. But at the end, in the last couple of seasons, it kind of went off the boil and wasn't producing. When you hit that 30, a player of his kind of stature, you're looking at it and going, can you go again now? Can you go again? And if someone had said to you after the season he had when he banged in 30 goals, it was Marcus the Great almost. I was expecting 25, 30 every. I was expecting Mo Salah consistency. I was expecting him to go toe-to-toe with these guys. I've got to be honest. Did I get carried away? Maybe, but that's what football's about, isn't it? Getting carried away and enjoying it. But after that 30-goal season, did I expect to be sitting here going, right, we have to do a live and talk about Marcus Rashford potentially leaving because he'd been frozen out of the team, and actually he's going on loan to Villa. And by the way, quite a humbling window, by the way, for Marcus Rashford, because at the beginning of it, we were hearing AC Milan, a European great, Barcelona, a European heavyweight, and then he ends up at Aston Villa. No disrespect, Aston Villa in the Champions League, but it's a different level of name, of club. But I wouldn't have believed that I'd have been sitting here talking like this, man. But I think we need to remember Marcus as positively we can for Manchester United. He had some wonderful moments. He's been there through so many different managers, been there through with so many different players. I sometimes sit and imagine and think to myself, for a lot of these players that have been through this period that's been quite negative at the club, I sometimes sit and think, what if they actually came into a squad like ours, which was a lot more settled, a lot more consistent, an environment that was there to win, managed by someone like Sir Alex Ferguson? Which one of these guys would have been able to fit in and would have been moulded the right way? Marcus, I look at it and go, he'd have been one of them. We'll never know. But you do sometimes sit and daydream about stuff like that. But we'll never know that. But I just hope he goes to Aston Villa and rebuilds himself. I think that's the big thing. Things didn't work out for Man United for Marcus. That happens. Shit happens, man. But you've got to move on. You've got to build now. And I think what he needs to do is he needs to kind of try and erase what's gone on the last few couple of years at Manchester United and go in there with a fresh slate. What I do think he needs, I think he needs a good culture at that club. I think he needs a strong group of leadership players, leaders in that team that cultivate that environment and atmosphere, and he has to buy into it immediately. He has to go in there and just be like, all hands on deck, I'm one of them, I'm one of you guys, let's go. And we're all level playing field. If he can do that, he's got a chance. But I do think that the culture there and the manager there will dictate a lot of how well Marcus will do there. But also a lot is going to be riding on his shoulders. He has to go out there and perform. He has to go out there and work and graft on a training pitch and learn the new methods and learn the new football style, tactics, what the new manager wants. But I look at it, man. Villa's a good opportunity for him. It's a really good opportunity for him. Champions League football, some young, vibrant, quick team. The big question is, can it reignite Marcus Rashford? I really hope it does. But again, he's gone for 40 mil, a graduate of a youth product. If we had said to you 2 years ago, how much will Marcus Rashford go for? It's 120 mil, people were saying. That shows you the big drop-off there's been. 40 mil, if it works, is an absolute steal for Aston Villa. So, like Sancho, like Rashford now, low fees for these players after a loan. If they do well, they're like steals, man. These teams are picking up steals. Can't wait for Man United to pick up a steal. But again, PSR reasons. I mean, this is all profit now, so it's going to be good for Man United to have £40 million in the coffers when it happens. But I look at Marcus and I think, what's success for Marcus? I think if he goes there and plays like we know he can, and he starts and stays in that team, and he pushes Villa on, and he's a big part of pushing Villa on up the table to European football again, even Champions League football. I think that he's had a good season. Marcus Rashford playing every week is an improvement, is a success for him this year, because he hasn't done it for too long now, since December the 12th. But I do think there is a world where Marcus can come back and reignite himself. He's only 27, he's not finished, but it's down to him. Marcus needs to really go there, focus, work hard, head down, don't listen to the noise, don't listen to anybody around you, outside your circle, whatever. It's all about, you know, what got you there. Think back to them moments when you was a kid, working hard to get in the team, working hard when you got in the team. What type of things was you doing? Take it back to basics. Take it back to base. Don't overcomplicate things. Running behind teams. There's so many wide players and forward players that are so quick, want the ball to feet all the time. But you know what? Running behind's hard work. You've got to come off the pitch hurting, man. That's what you always did as a kid, and you enjoyed it and you loved it. That's a privilege. She used to think, to run off the pitch and thinking, well, I can't, sometimes I can't breathe. But I love being here. I love being here. And I think one thing that might suit him is Emery's style of football. They do play quite transitional football, use a lot of fast breaks. And if he can integrate himself into that, it might put him in a better place, and the football could suit him better. You've got to remember that pace they've got up there, Watkins, Rodgers, Bailey. Do you know what I mean? These boys are quick, man, and they're aggressive. People are passing them, Tielemans and that are passing the ball through. So again, those guys might you might see something again, people running, a lot of runners off the ball, and think, oh, that's what it looks like again. Because sometimes you need to see it, man, no matter how old you are. So I want to wish Marcus Rashford the best. And following that, is there any chat? Any questions out there? Give me some questions. Come on, guys. Throw some in. Big Dog, is Rashford a limited player? What aspects has he actually improved in the last 4 years? I think he's got huge talent, Marcus Rashford, but I just feel that he's lost his way. And I feel he's just forgot what he's good at. And his game is about running off the ball. It's about being quick. It's been about aggressive. It's about then getting opportunities off the back of that. And I think he went away from that. He wanted the ball to feet far too often. Any more questions? Throw them in, man. Come on, guys. Give me some more questions. I need some more questions. So I'm going to leave the chat, guys. Another question I had before. Oh, Ulf and Finn Eriksson, they should sell Mainu and Diallo too before they depreciate in value. Are you mad, bruv? Come on, man. Can't sell two homegrown talents, man, in the same window. That's blasphemy. I can't see that. Diallo's been our best player for a number of months now. I can't see that happening either. Yeah, that's a wild statement, man. Come on, wild statement. Radu Dankal, what do you think about Euro's performance? I just think he's got to learn. He's going to have to learn. He's learning the hard way in the spotlight. And that's the thing. When you come to a big club like Man United, there's no hiding place. There's no time for you to just make your mistakes. Someone like Saliba went to France for a year or 2 years, and played, made his mistakes there. No one's really bothered. No one sees it. Comes back to finish article. Then he's going to have to do it under the spotlight, under pressure, and he's going to have thick skin. But I think he's made the right stuff to do that. Again, he needs a good support system around him too. Santa Notch, how can we not look as hungry as teams like Palace? Yeah, that's been one of my biggest things, man. Like, hunger is a given. Like, I just look at things and go, like, you should be good at the things. It's not things that don't take technique and don't take talent should be like so easy for people, man. They're all athletes, so running, grafting, reacting, aggression, dedication. These things should be being up for it at 3 o'clock every week. It should be just part of it. Shouldn't have to ask, shouldn't have to question it. And that's a worry, man. That's a concern. I think we desperately need a natural number 9. I 100% agree with you. That's from MJ1682. I completely agree. A natural number 9. That's why I said Osimhen. I'd have gone for Osimhen on loan. Get him on loan, man. If it's possible, I'd have gone and got him. Last question that was, man. So, guys, I really appreciate it. Thanks again. It's been a great pleasure talking to you all. And we'll catch up soon. But, yeah, not a great weekend. I'm going to go and have my roast dinner in a minute. And drown my sorrows with a glass of red wine, I think. Or Ribena. I don't know, whatever I fancy. All right, take care. See you soon. Don't forget to come on the show, by the way. Come on the show tomorrow. We're doing the Rio Ferdinand Presents tomorrow, live from the studio. It will drop at 5 o'clock. So make sure you guys are on. We'll be discussing the weekend and all the big news that's been going on. So make sure you subscribe, tell a friend. Take care.